Pixie, and welcome to Pixie's Pit. On today's episode, we will be talking about AEW Revolution pay-per-view and trying Lay's old-fashioned barbecue chips. We also have Lay's wavy Hickory barbecue chips. And we're going to be washing that down with some Grape Crush. Alright, so let's try the food first. So let's start with the Lay's old-fashioned barbecue. So I'm going to open this up here. I'm going to insert a few old chip ads that aren't Lay's, but you know what? I just really like them. Alright, so let's pour these in our bowl. Wow, these are pretty orange. So sniff test. Yeah, they do smell like a typical barbecue chip. They are quite orange there, kind of reminding me of Cheetos in terms of the coloring. And let's try them out. Pretty standard barbecue flavor. There is something that kind of chokes you a little bit in the throat, not in a spicy way, but just kind of catches you in a bit there. Pretty much your standard barbecue chip. Nothing really special about them. Not spicy, but I would just say be a little bit weary of that kind of seasoning that's causing a bit of a scratchy, choking kind of thing happening. Gonna give those a 7 out of 10 horns in the air. All right, we've got wavy Lay's Hickory barbecue. Now I am pretty excited for the wavy chip. I've always kind of been a fan of that format in general, so hopefully it will represent well. Okay, so these don't have a strong smell right off the bat. Very similar in terms of color going into the bowl, maybe even a little bit lighter. These chips are huge compared to the other chips, and I do love that sort of kind of wavy crimping in it. I can show you the size difference in terms of chip. So why have this when you can have this in terms of size? I mean, for flavor, we're going to have to wait and see, but all right, so let's try this out. Texture is 10 out of 10 better. To start off, they taste almost identical. This doesn't have the choking issue in the back of the throat, which is a plus. Bit of a hickory taste in the background, a little bit of that kind of smoky thing happening. This one's better. I'm going to give this one an 8 horns in the air. All right, we got the Grape Crush. Love this purple metallic can. So kind of retro and classic looking. All right, let's open this up. That is so good. It's so classic and retro, and it has that really kind of a nice grape flavor to it. Good amount of carbonation, not overly sweet. This one's going to get a 9 out of 10 horns in the air. In Jericho versus Kingston, there is a half and half by Kingston. There is a hanging neck breaker by Kingston. An enziguri by Kingston. Jericho chops Kingston. Kingston machine gun chops to Jericho. He chops Jericho in the eye and does a DDT. Kingston starts biting Jericho's ear. Jericho does a lariat to the back of Kingston's head, rakes his eyes. Kingston bites Jericho. Jericho does a hurricanrana. Jericho exposes the turnbuckle. There's 2 release German suplexes by Jericho, another suplex and a lion salt by Jericho, a lariat by Kingston. Jericho locks in the walls of Jericho, but Kingston gets to the ropes. There's 2 suplexes by Kingston, a spinning back fist by Kingston for a 2 count, a code breaker by Jericho for a 2 count. Jericho slaps Kingston and yells, "Stay down!" down. Jericho suplexes Kingston and gives another code breaker. 2 face shots by Kingston. Kingston does a stretch and he gets the win. Jericho does not shake Kingston's hand. In Young Bucks versus Red Dragon versus Jurassic Express, Jungle Boy and Riley square off. There's a leapfrog, a monkey flip, an arm drag takedown by Jungle Boy, a Jujikatami by O'Reilly. There's an arm drag from Jungle Boy to Nick Jackson, a moonsault by Luchasaurus off of the apron, a destroyer by Nick Jackson to Luchasaurus, a double choke slam by Luchasaurus to the Bucks, an Escalera and Doomsday device by Jungle Boy to Matt Jackson. Matt Jackson super kicks Bobby Fish by accident. Nick Jackson and Fish slug it out. There's a avalanche exploder by Fish to Jungle Boy. There's diving headbutts by Fish to Jungle Boy. An elbow drop by Matt Jackson. There's also a running knee strike by Nick Jackson. A choke slam to Nick by Luchasaurus. A guillotine by O'Reilly. A shooting star press by Jungle Boy. O'Reilly hits Jungle Boy with the belt. High-low by Red Dragon. Super kicks by the Young Bucks to Fish. Escalera by Nick Jackson. There's also an Escalera to Luchasaurus onto the floor. BT trigger on Jungle Boy, a Hurricanrana, German suplex, and Jurassic Express gets the win. In MJF versus Punk, Punk's new music hits. He has new attire. He is the Second City Saint, CM Punk. They put the dog collar on, and MJF whips the chain into his eyes. CM Punk hangs MJF with the chain by pulling it. As MJF is hung up, he tries to apologize to Punk, but Punk kicks him and hammers MJF in the head. There's a power bomb for a 2 count by MJF. MJF whips CM Punk with the chain, a rising knee strike by Punk. MJF puts the chain in CM Punk's mouth and rakes the chain against CM Punk's face wound. MJF kicks Punk and tells Punk to quit, and CM Punk says, "Eat shit, Max." And MJF hits him with the mic. CM Punk's face is bloodied. He starts yanking the chain, and MJF falls off the middle rope. CM Punk headbutts MJF in the groin and whips the chain. He also does a Russian leg sweep with the chain. There's a rising knee strike by Punk, a bulldog by Punk. Punk whips MJF with the chain. Punk drives the chain and his knees into MJF's hands and tries to break his fingers. MJF uses the chain to lock in the sleeper hold. MJF has a body scissors. There's the Salt of the Earth Fujiwara armbar by MJF, an Anaconda Vice by Punk, a Shining Wizard by Punk. Punk put the chain across MJF's eyelids. Punk gives MJF right hands. He does this in the crowd. He also throws MJF into the steel steps. Punk drives his own knee into the steel step after attempting another Shining Wizard with a chain wrapped around it. Punk tombstones MJF on the ring apron. CM Punk shouts, "Best in the world," and attempts an elbow drop, but MJF rolls out of the way. MJF empties a bag of thumbtacks in the ring. There is a rising knee strike by MJF. Punk bites MJF's hand. MJF delivers right hands, a roundhouse kick to MJF, a superplex by MJF to CM Punk onto the thumbtacks. MJF wraps the chain around his hand and hits CM Punk. MJF calls for Wardlow. Wardlow comes out and he's lost the Dynamite Diamond Ring. CM Punk delivers the GTS. Wardlow finds the Dynamite Diamond Ring and leaves it in the ring for CM Punk to pick up. CM Punk gives MJF the middle finger. MJF spits at Punk. Punk hits MJF with the Dynamite Diamond Ring for the win. In Mox versus Danielson, they lock up. Danielson kicks Mox in the back. Danielson does jumping jacks to Mox. They chop each other. Mox stomps on Danielson and steps on his head. A back elbow by Mox, a dragon screw by Danielson. Danielson kicks Mox many times, driving knee strike onto the knees of Mox. Danielson stands on Mox's midsection. Danielson knees to the neck of Mox. Danielson misses a driving headbutt, a roundhouse kick by Danielson, a body scissors and front face lock by Danielson, right hands by Mox. Danielson rakes the eyes of Mox. Mox throws him over the top rope. A tope suicida by Danielson. They're both split open. Rolling elbow strike, a King Kong lariat by Mox. Mox rakes his fingernails right across the back of Danielson. A hammer and anvil elbows on Mox's jaw. Body scissors with a dragon sleeper by Danielson. Sleeper by Mox. Mox elbows Danielson and uses a cross arm breaker. A label lock by Danielson. Mox stomps Danielson's head. He locks in the bulldog choke. There is a triangle sleeper by Danielson. Mox rolls through into the ropes and has Danielson pinned. Mox is the winner. They keep fighting after the match is over, and William Regal walks to the ring and tries to talk sense into them. Regal slaps Mox and slaps Danielson and tells them to shake hands, and they do. In Andrade, Matt Hardy, and Cassidy versus Guevara, Sting, and Darby Allin, it's showtime! Darby tackles Andrade. Sting throws Hardy into the barricade. Sting starts strangling Jose. Darby picks up a trash can and a steel chair. Darby puts the trash can over Jose's head, and Darby does a tope suicida onto it. Andrade hits Darby with a chair and Sting with a trash can. Andrade does a vertical suplex to Guevara. Cassidy and Hardy double team Sting. Sting clotheslines Cassidy and hits Hardy with a trash can. Coffin splashes by Darby to Cassidy and Hardy. Dropkick by Andrade. A twist of fate on Guevara by Hardy. Hardy does right hands to Sting. Sting does right hands to Hardy. Sting drives Hardy into the barricade. Sting hits Hardy with a steel chair. Sting puts Matt right into the wall. The Butcher and the Blade attack Darby. The Butcher swings Darby into the barricade. Cassidy is at the top of the stage. He fights with Sammy. Sammy says, "I'm crazy," and does a Spanish fly off of the stage onto Cassidy through a table. Sting attacks the Butcher and Blade. Matt Hardy low blows Sting. Hardy and Sting go through the crowd. Andrade and Darby exchange blows. El Idolo is on the table. Sting dives on top of El Idolo from the top of the crowd, and they go through 3 tables. Darby and Hardy slug it out. Darby goes over the barricade. Hardy hits Darby with a chair. Scorpion death drop from Darby to Hardy on the chair, followed by the coffin drop for the win. In Page versus Cole, Cole enters with Spartan armor. They lock up. A hammerlock by Hangman. Elbow strikes by Cole. Knife edge chops by Page. Short arm lariat by Page. Dropkick by Page. Page throws Cole into the barricade. A running boot by Page. Page clotheslines the ring post while aiming at Cole. Cole throws Page into the steel steps. Knife edge chops by Page. Neckbreaker by Cole. Fallaway slam by Page. Lariat by Page. Moonsault by Page after a powerbomb to the spine of Cole on the apron. A backstabber by Cole. A Liger bomb by Hangman. A super kick by Cole during a moonsault by Page. A deadeye by Page. Pump kick and super kick by Cole. Running elbow strike by Page. Crossface by Cole. An enziguri by Cole. A deadlift German suplex by Page. Red Dragon round down to the ring. There's actually a super kick by Cole. A Panama Sunrise to Page on the floor. A low blow by Cole. A Panama Sunrise again by Cole. The boom by Cole. Deadeye through the table. Dark Order run out. Dark Order and Red Dragon start to go at it. Buckshot lariat by Page. Page ties Cole to the ropes and super kicks him. Cole super kicks him back. Hangman hits Cole's finishing move, the boom knee, and then does a buckshot lariat for the win. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe because we're trying to build a cool community. And goodbye and good night.